Hello everybody. Now if you saw my last video on the map guard, you know that I do know quite a bit about the mode Wingman. Is my favorite mode in the game. So I decided I'd continue the series by going on to Short Dust. Now I think I have something like 400 or 500 wins on this map, so that's over half of my total Wingman wins. I think I have about 900 Wingman wins now. It's kind of something crazy. I love this mode. It's so easy to get some quick games in with a friend. So I'm just going to get right into the tips here without boring you too much with this intro. So to start, I want to say that this map is actually T-sided. Now, if you've played the map before, you might be like, really? How is it T-sided? Well, I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to show you exactly how to play the T-side and how to abuse it to get 5 rounds basically every time. So to start this spawn right here, if you've played the map any amount of time, you might be familiar with this. This spawn is the best spawn in the game, literally. There is no spawn better than this in any map. If you can find one, I will, I don't know what I'll do, but please put it in the comments if you can find one. That'd be great. So the reason this spawn is so great is because if you're here, I recommend if you have enough to purchase an op, like I did here, and you just take it, you run over to ramp, and you can actually catch the CTs crossing. Even if they have their own best spawns, you'll still catch them crossing. So you have either a leg shot or a free kill. Now, if you can't afford an op, I recommend you grab yourself an AK to have this spawn. You can go up ramp, not up ramp, up the ladder, and just peek window. It's very common to catch somebody in transition with their nades out and whatnot. So that's the two ways that I like to abuse the spawn. Another way, if they keep peeking from the tunnel hallway right here, you could just hold it, head level, burst them down when they come in. Now I want to show you the basic side execute that you can run. You can literally run this every single round. It's hard to counter it. There's a couple counters that I'll go over for a little bit. But it all starts with this deep tunnel hallway molly. Now to throw this, you kind of want to wing it. You don't really have the time to line it up, but the basic points that you're going to want is you're going to want to be against this wall. Make it so you cannot see that much of the hallway. If you can see like this much, it's not going to work properly. So something like this much, and then you just do a run throw. And you'll see why this is so good in a second. Let me turn on God mode actually. It's a deep molly. Now they can't peek in and do anything. Now your teammate, if you have one, that molly's good as a standalone molly to isolate fights toward window, but if you have one, I recommend they they throw the molly window, just so it prevents them from pushing, and then they go for a smoke plant. Most overpowered strategy on the map easily. Now do be aware that depending on where your teammate's molly bounces, somebody might wide peek here, so I recommend the other player that threw the molly into tunnel just sort of holds that and defends. There are some other counters against this that I'll go over in a second. But the reason this is so strong, because if you get a bomb plant down there, I recommend somebody jumps down the ladder and just full sprints over to here. Why is this such a strong position? Because nobody ever really retakes from over here. Look at that, you have full view on the site. The bomb's going to be planted something like right there. So when people go to defuse, just shoulder peek them, throw a flash, peek, take some shots. And if you're in a one-on-one, it's basically impossible for them to kill you unless they have a Molotov, which they may not have at that point in the round. So there's the basic side execute. I'll go over it just one more time. Molly into tunnel hallway, molly window, and smoke plant. Alright. One other note that I'd like to make is if you have any forward spawn, so either the literal best one in the game, or even better, ones that are over here, and you have an op, you could get to catwalk before the CTs do. So if you just take an op, peek in, or if you're on an eco round, take a deagle, learn how to line up the shot, and you could get a quick one deag before they can even peek. If you are going to take outside, you can get on this scaffolding. I recommend having one teammate going ramp while you sit up here and play Overwatch the ops, clearing everything out. It's not that hard to clear. If you know that this is clear, you just have your crosshair here, then you have your crosshair there, then you have your crosshair there. Then you slowly clear out here. If you see it's clear, then you can get over to here. All right, that's all I really wanted to go over on the T side now. Now I'm going to go over a couple things on the CT side that you can do to counter what the opponents are going to do. So the very first thing, I recommend you throw this molly on every single gun round that you're going to play in the window area, because it's such an easy position to get overwhelmed in. So you're going to need to throw this early, about at this point. Just throw a molly down there. This will prevent... They can swing still, so you need to get it a little bit deeper, like that. Prevents them from swinging, and they're forced to push into you through a Molotov, so you can isolate the fights. Now another thing that you can do is boost on top of this box. It took me ages to figure this out. My friend actually did randomly. But in order to do that, you just get up against this little wooden stick here, and you just crouch jump onto it. Okay, I held W for too long while holding W. Crouch jump onto it, and then crouch jump onto here. This position is strong because it's only going to work once a game, once or twice a game, because if you do it every round, they're just going to start pre-aiming it. But this position is strong. If they're planting, you can get up, spam them down. You can have fights towards ladder. You can even peek catwalk. If you know that the guy is catwalk, I like to get up here with an op and just sit there and hold that, because they're never going to be pre-aiming that. Something a lot of people do, in one-on-ones especially, is they'll jump on top of there and then get in a position like this. I don't think that's a good idea because most of the time the other person's going to hear it. But that's how you get on top of that box. Took me ages to figure it out. Another thing that you can do is throw a one-way at the truck here. My friend found this. Kudos to him. I'll link his channel. You kind of just, I haven't really found a consistent lineup, but you want to get the smoke just like that. You want to get it to bounce off that truck. To bounce off that back tire. And now look, I can see down there. The opposing team cannot see me. I've gotten quite a few kills by doing this. It just takes a little bit to get right. And now the final thing I want to show you is to molly off catwalk here from over here. Because like I said, they can get there first. You do have to show yourself for a second, but you do something like this. Now they can still peek, which is why I don't recommend that you take the fight all the time. To throw one that actually bounces over there, you have to be more exposed like this. And then you want to have it bounce back off that box. But you see, it makes it harder for me to peek out. That just helps to stop them from pushing cat. Sometimes it will bounce and then land back here, but it's inconsistent since you're winging it really quickly as a start around molly. And then the final thing I wanted to show you guys is a lot of people don't know this, but smokes are not impenetrable barriers. If they smoke you off here, which a lot of people do, I do it sometimes, and they go for a plant, try to get your own little lineup. You'll figure it out as you play the map more. Just do this. And also, obviously use your ears to find out where they're planting. Guess who's dead now if I do this? The planter. And one final thing that I forgot, on T side I wanted to show you this. This bomb plant, I'll even plant the bomb. There's a bomb plant position right here. You want to be looking at the radar. This one right here. I think you can even go out a little bit more. This one right here. If you have a player go back down ramp, you can do the setup I said earlier at cat, and you can see the bomb perfectly. But if you have a player go ramp, they can also defend the bomb, so the person is in a pincer situation, having to fight two people at once. Alright, that's the final thing I wanted to show you on Short Dust. Be sure to like and subscribe, leave a comment down below. Alright, thank you.